Hello and welcome to the Pedders Suspension and Breaks Outer East Football Netball Show, brought to you by Gameface. I'm Adam Miller, and once again alongside me in the studio is Steph Barkers. Good afternoon, Steph.
Good afternoon, Aidan. I know that every week I say that we have a lot going on in this show, but I cannot tell you how much is going on in today's show. We have guests galore. There's so much incredible news. Oh, it's going to be a great show.
Going to be another action-packed week in the Outer East. And coming up, we'll bring you all the latest news from across our competition.
We have game day interviews with Yarra Glen co-captain Austin Smith and Seville's Nathan Thompson, Taylah Werner. Of course, we have a match of the round preview, and this weekend it's Werner versus Wandon. And of course, a huge thank you to Pedders Suspension and Breaks, partner of the Outer East Football Netball Show. Okay, jumping straight into news. This week, the main piece of news is that we wanted to congratulate all of our June winners across our community awards. So first and foremost to Katie Plunkett, who is our Community Photo of the Month winner. Here's Katie's photo. Absolutely incredible shot. We want to shout out Kerry Williams, who is our Senior Club Volunteer of the Month. Kelly Sullivan, our Junior Club Volunteer of the Month. And thanks so much to Rochford, because those two volunteers are going to receive a $100 voucher as a thank you for their efforts. So absolutely huge from Rochford there. We also have our Coaches of the Month. So first and foremost, Alex Bergerman, our Open Netball Coach of the Month. Taylah and Georgia Priestley, who are our Junior Coaches of the Month and look after all our junior umpires. Ash Taylor, our Women and Girls Coach of the Month. Connor Maguire, our Under-18s Coach of the Month. David Solberger, our Unders Netball Coach of the Month. And last but certainly not least, Jason DeGraff, our Senior Coach of the Month. So again, thanks to SSA Sports, one of our great partners, all our Coaches of the Month are going to receive a $100 voucher to spend on new sports equipment, because whether it's a coach's board, flexi domes or whistles, every coach needs the right tools to support their team.
Remember, if you'd like to nominate someone from your club or a Coach Volunteer of the Month award, or if you've got a great photo to submit for a Community Photo of the Month award, you can find the details on our socials or our website.
All right, over now to our Juniors Corner, thanks to Yarra Valley Water. And my gosh, we have a lot of news across our juniors this week. There's so many exciting things happening. But first and foremost, we could not decide on the weekend who should be our Junior Player of the Week. So we gave two girls the award this week on the week. So congratulations to both Zoe and Annie Rose from Gembrook Cockatoo. Zoe was a solid backline player who stood strong and repelled attack after attack and drove the ball forward on numerous occasions. Annie Rose played down the other end of the ground as a forward and was extremely dangerous every time the ball entered the forward line, and kicked a fantastic goal from the boundary. Couldn't split them. They both get an award, both our Junior Players of the Week. So great work, girls.
Well, we've got a host of school holiday clinics on offer across the upcoming school holidays that our juniors can get involved in. Firstly, the AFL Vic Footy Clinic on Wednesday, July 9th at the Don Road Sporting Complex. Then another AFL Vic Footy Clinic on Thursday, July 10th at Kilsyth Recreation Reserve. A North East Players Netball Clinic on July 15th at Pinks Reserve in Kilsyth, and then the Hawks Academy Football Clinic on Wednesday the 16th of July at Eildon Park Roval. Yeah,
plenty to get involved with there, and some great opportunities to learn from some incredible people. So make sure you sign your kids up. Last but certainly not least, I want to say congratulations to our two OEFN girls who have been selected in Netball Victoria's First Nations squad. So to Olivia Spence from Mount Evelyn and Emlyn Turra from Seville. Amazing work. Congratulations on your selection. The First Nations tournament will be taking place in August, and the athletes selected represent the next generation of First Nations talent in the Netball Victoria High Performance Pathway. So we are certainly looking forward to that tournament, and we'll be keeping an eye out for our two girls.
Well done, girls.
All right, it's match of the round time. And of course, before we get into this week's match of the round, we always like to reflect on the week just gone. So last weekend's action, Yarra Glen versus Seville. Take us through those two games, Aidan.
Yeah, we'll go through the netball first of all. I said there were two players that Seville needed to really put some attention into. That was Maddie Hargrave and Alana McGurgan. I didn't know that those two weren't going to be playing on the weekend, and I think I was absolutely spot on, because they were definitely missed. Not an ideal performance by Yarra Glen, but when you've got key personnel missing. Although in saying that, Seville did have a couple of players out themselves as well, but they were also able to fill the void of no Olivia Ray with the inclusion of Hayley Howard, who was a premiership player with the Linda Fernie Creek going back to 2022, and she absolutely dominated, and Seville dominated. It was a fantastic victory. They stay undefeated in season 2025, and really hard to pick out any standout players from the Blues, because they were all just, fantastic. They all played their role and did a really good job. The footy was a real interesting one. It was an absolute shootout. 38 goals were kicked across the day, and we were seeing goals from distance, from the boundary line. Again, another interesting inclusion for Seville, like in the netball, Josh Neal up forward, who was with Werner last year, went to Mooroolbark and Easton. He came in to kick 5 goals. Dominic Alloy had 5 goals, and it certainly felt like a closer game than the 60-point margin suggested. Yarra Glen were right in the game. They did concede the first 5 goals of the game in a very quick succession, but then they were really able to kind of wrestle back the momentum from there. But it was one of those games where every time Yarra Glen would get within maybe about, say, 2 goals, Seville would always have the response. But it was when Josh Hawkins went down with a suspected knee injury, I think it was, and he kicked 6 goals for the day. I think Yarra Glen just kind of lost a bit of confidence, and I think that deflated them a little bit, and Seville were able to run away with the game from there. But, a couple of interesting games, and got our tips right as well, Steph. We did tip Seville for both and got those right.
Sounds like 2 very good games, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there and missed them, but appreciate your review and was happy to get some more tips on the board because I have been doing pretty poorly this season. So let's jump now into our match of the round for this weekend. I am so excited. Werner and Wandin, we know that this is one of the big rivalries in our competition, and excited for this match of the round, definitely.
This isn't just match of the round. It's a battle steeped in history. Wuri versus Wandin. They faced each other for decades, and the bruises linger. The scorelines are never forgotten. The past still echoes, but new heroes are ready to rise, and they've been waiting for this one. You won't just watch this match, you'll feel it. It's the Rochford Match of the Round.
Last time the two sides played was back in round 2 of this year, and Wandin won that game. It was a bit of a seesawing contest. We were looking at the scores all day. Wandin 16-13-109 defeated Werner 14-11-95, and it's looking pretty juicy coming into it because Wandin are currently top of the ladder, still undefeated. Werner second on the ladder with an 8-2 record. So a big first v second clash. You don't get these too often, so really looking forward to it. The midfield battle, Wandin, well, they've got so much depth in that midfield. They run so many players through centre bounce, but it was really hard to go past Joel Garner. He's averaging 30 disposals this season, including 19 of those contested, 16 score involvements and 4 goals. He'll go head-to-head with Geordie Williams, who's averaging 33 disposals of the game with 14 contested, 7 clearances and 7 tackles. So a big midfield battle. Bit hard to know who's going to have the job, and Aaron Mullet. It could potentially be one of the Arnold brothers, but I think it might be Alex Marshall go head-to-head with Aaron Mullet. He's kicked 75 goals this season, and I think Lewin Jones probably has the job down the other end, trying to stop Taylah Gibson, who's got 40 goals for this season. Remember, Taylah Gibson has missed a few games with injury, so he could be right on Aaron Mullet's tail if he hadn't missed those games. Heading across to the netball, the last time these two sides played also was round 2 of this year. Wandin won that game by 21 goals, 69-48 was the final score. In that game. Coming into it this time round, Wandin are currently second on the ladder with a 9-1 record. They haven't lost a game since round 1, and Werner are currently 5th on the ladder with a 5-4-1 record. Both of these teams are coming off some really big results from last weekend as well. Wandin defeating Mount Evelyn, ending their undefeated run by 1 goal. After the siren, I was told as well, the winning goal was scored. And Werner with a draw against Emerald, so they're 5-4-1 as mentioned. I did say that they did have a big block of games against Mount Evelyn, Emerald and Wandin, so they've been able to score some points against Emerald. Maybe they could do it against their arch rivals this week against Wandin. If they could do that, they'll set themselves up well and truly for a finals berth. Looking at some of the key matchups, Amber Thorne of Werner, she's got that big job on Amalia Blake, who's got 421 goals this season and is equal top in Premier Division. Hayley Wilcox, she's third for goals, or technically second, I guess you could say, with 332 goals this season. And you imagine Ruby Tidd's going to have that big task to try and stop her. And then through the mid-court, you imagine Chelsea Smith going head-to-head with Carly Dolphin should be a really good battle. So a couple of really interesting games. Really looking forward to the footy in particular, but I really think the netball could be quite close as well.
Well, it sounds like both sides will be coming in with a lot of confidence.
Definitely.
So it should be a really strong contest. So that'll be so good. I am really excited for this. And we're in the second half of the season now, right? So it does sort of start to get to that serious end where it's like you are starting to push for that final spot or maintain that final spot that you're already in. So, so exciting. Cannot wait. All right, let's go to tips. We'll start with the footy.
Going to go and upset Steph. I think Werry might end Wandin's run on their home deck.
Oh, do you know what? I think I'm going to agree with you.
You know,
yeah, I'm gonna. I think they could do it. They're the closest team so far. They almost had them last time, and as you say, being on the home deck, I think they're a good chance.
I think they're a good chance. I think, it's going to be tight, but I've just got a feeling about Werry this week.
Yeah, okay, and then netball.
Still going to go with Wandon for netball. I really think Werry could make this interesting, but they've improved out of sight this year. I think Werry Alec in the netball, they've really risen up, but I think it'll be Wandon.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you as well, but I do think, Werry are going to give them a good push, and as you say, they're going to go in with a lot of confidence off the back of a big win, so it will definitely make things very interesting.
Don't forget as well, our local football hub match this week will be exclusive to all of those who have subscribed and paid for the local footy hub, and that game will be between Officer and Upwey Tacoma. And
this week's filmed women's football match is Yea versus Thornton Ilden. Before we move on, let's take a look now at our community predictions, because we always like to know what you guys think is going to happen this weekend. So first and foremost, the match of the round footy, Werry Alec versus Wandon.
Also, the netball match of the round between Werry Alec versus Wandon.
The local footy hub match, Officer versus Upwey Tacoma.
And our women's film match between Yea and Thornton Ilden.
Since 1950, Pedders have understood that every customer's journey is different, but our solution remains the same: to get you where you want to go as safely as possible. We believe it's not just the destination that matters, but also the journey, and we are committed to creating better journeys for everyone.
Okay, well, as we mentioned at the start of the show, we have so many guests on the show this week. These things just kind of happen, right? Well, sometimes you just get the opportunity to talk to a whole host of players, and we're never going to say no. So,
exactly right.
First and foremost, though, we had a chat with Austin Smith, one of Yarra Glen's senior co-captains.
So down here, the match of the round this week, it's Yarra Glen v Seville, and I'm joined by Yarra Glen's own Austin Smith. Austin, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, returning to the River Pigs this season after a year at Moolbark. Haven't really good season, mate. They averaged 40 points, I suppose. It's just added a bit there. How's it all been going since coming back?
It's been really good, mate. Obviously, it's been 4 years down at Moolbark in the AFL, but I thought it was the right time to come back, play with some close mates, and get this club going back in the right direction. And loving every minute of it, so can't complain, mate.
Obviously, in the top 4 this year, a really big comeback after some of the struggling seasons. How have you found, obviously, the performances coming back in it? And even when you were here, what's been the change for you guys to bounce into the top 4?
Just bringing in good people around the club. Like, it's good to get good players to the club. It's most importantly better. It's a win-win if you can get good quality people around the club as well. And everyone that's come to the club brought in, being a leader, helping drive those standards and culture that we're trying to build. So, it's been awesome. So, just can't complain, mate. Loving my footy. So,
obviously, Seville, third ladder, 7-1. What's some of the attributes that, if you guys put together today, that you really need to focus on to get the job done out there?
I think it's just all about intensity, pressure, and effort today, and being hard at the ball. They're obviously a bigger body side, flying at the moment. They touched us up round 1, but we feel if we can bring all of them together, we'll just put up a really good contest and hopefully get 4 points.
Yeah, and obviously, been getting a lot of media fines. You're going to get another one of this, obviously. So are you basically funding for the future?
It's all part of it, mate. It's all good laugh around the club and that between myself and Porco. So, maybe you might be self-funding it a bit, but it's all good fun at the end of the day, and it's a good laugh. So I can't complain. Awesome, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Next interview, Trent had another chat with Nathan Thompson from Seville ahead of their game against Yarra Glen.
So down here, the match of the round, I'm joined by Seville's Nathan Thompson. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Obviously, we can see you're in the pick. You are the runner.
Yeah.
Also, after your ACL injury last year. How did it feel to still be able to be out there as a runner and still be a part of the boys' team?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think the boys have really got around me pretty much the whole year. Obviously, it's a pretty bad injury, obviously, to have first. Well, keep me out of the game for 12 months. But it's been really good to get involved, see the game from a coaching side of things as well. Having chats with Willow and Dino, all the boys there. And I think, as I said, the boys have been really well around me, so it's been really good.
So we're talking just before as we were walking over. Saw you in the warm-up coming, went pretty much at a full sprint. So what are we saying? How are we pushing to get back this season?
Yeah, we're going to try. I've been doing pretty much everything at training but contact side of things. So everything's gone pretty well. And if everything keeps tracking the way it is, hopefully getting back to the last game of the year. We played package at home. So I said it was supposed to be up until the host week. We played homes.
Yeah, and obviously, I see you've been lately, especially good commentary on the outer East Coast. You and Jack Nolan, what's your guys' connection like with the social media banter?
Yeah, we just love it. We just get around each other. Obviously, we get on with it. I saw Steph later them at the interleague game, so I'll have a bit of a yap with them.
Because I saw one of them when they were like, she tagged you and was like, Nathan will be able to see you out, and you're like, yes, Jack Nolan, 6'4".
Yeah, no, well, yeah. As I said, we know each other pretty well. Jack and I have played together the last couple of years, and we know each other's game pretty well, and we share. Well, I suppose we have a similar behavioural trait on the court as well, but we get along pretty well that way as well. So it's been good. Yeah.
Obviously, third on the ladder, 7-1. How's the belief around the group in there should be able to struggle with that?
Yeah, it's awesome. As I said, 7-1, but I think the top 3 teams are all 7-1, just a matter of percentage. We've definitely got the belief there. We know he's got a really strong outfit. We think he can match it with everyone in comp on our best day. Obviously, last week was a bit of a downfall for us, so we viewed that game. We sort of looked at what we did well, what we didn't do so well. Obviously, hoping we can bounce back today. But so yeah, belief's really there to go really deep into the finals here. But hopefully,
now last year, obviously made it to finals.
Yeah,
but out in straight sets.
Yeah.
What do you, first of all, how was that to reflect on, and what do you think you guys, going back and reflecting on it, what have you really learned you can tackle into this year?
Well, I think it's just a matter of not taking things for granted. I think we went into the finals last year really confident. Obviously, we finished top of the ladder, so we were like, well, we should be the best team in it.
Yeah.
But obviously, maybe a bit of overconfidence there. As I said, we've been reviewing all the things we've done right, not so right, over the pre-season, working on a lot of things to improve our game, and instead we're trying to obviously get there again. But instead, with the experience of finishing top last year and then crashing out in the straight sets, I think the boys are really prepared and ready to go for, I suppose, a bit more of a crash this season than we did last year.
Rest had confidence to be out there with the Cheers crossed, yeah. Let's have with the toys out there, obviously. What's the key aspects to your guys' game? What gets the job done out there today?
I think our ball movement and our link up is what we really pride ourselves on. We work on a lot of things at training, hitting the inside 45, hitting the handball receives. We've got some pretty lethal halfback, as I mentioned before. Sonny Sanigas, she's going with the strong. We're also got the 2 Squatino brothers who give us a lot of run and carry from the halfback into the middle. So that's something we pride ourselves on, that quick ball movement, and then being able to get back transition defense as well, which is something we point out we didn't do too well last week, is something that we pride ourselves on, our defense as well, being able to go both ways.
Well, good luck to the boys out there. And quick question before you finish.
Yeah.
Do you think, honestly, you run more in-game or as a runner?
Well, I don't get to track it in-game because I don't obviously when we watch, but I did 10 Ks out of Pappy last week, and I think that's a pretty, I was pretty quick after that. So just, but I don't know. I said, because I play the wing, I do a fair bit of up and down running, so it'll be interesting to see tracking it if I could do it in-game with the GPS or whatever to see how I'd go. But I reckon at the moment, obviously not playing, I think I would feel more fatigued doing the runner stuff. So, yeah.
Well, best of luck to the boys out there today, and you can see you got your running shoes on. So there'll be plenty out there running.
Yeah, thank you.
Aiden also had a chat on the weekend with Taylah Werner from Seville's A-grade side before their match.
I'm joined by Taylah Werner from Seville's A-grade side ahead of their round 10 clash against Yarra Glen. What are some of the messages coming into today's game, Taylah?
I think just working on what we've been working on the whole season. It's coming into the second half of the season, so we're just utilising what we've been working on to secure our top spot.
Yep. Undefeated at this point in the season. Were you expecting that kind of result at this point of the year?
It's been a bit hard. We've obviously had a few injuries here and there. We've been a bit short on players, but I think we're still putting what we want to put out, so we're more than happy to, be undefeated and stay that way.
Yep. Must be very happy with the depth that's coming through, filling all those injuries.
Yeah, it's been good. We've had, B-grade girls, have their opportunities to come play up, and it's been good.
Yep. This is your second year now with Seville after coming across from Ferny Creek. Have you enjoyed your time so far at the Blues?
I love it. The girls are amazing. They've made me feel so welcome. I've known a couple of them beforehand, but it makes me feel like family,
Speaking of your time at Ferny Creek, I've noticed a big inclusion for you girls today, which is Hayley Howard. Are you looking forward to sharing the goal circle with her again?
I'm absolutely looking forward to it. It's been so long. I think the last time we played together was the Olinda Games. So yeah, it's been a while, and I'm so happy to be back playing with her.
Going back to your time again at Alinda, obviously you did play in that premiership in 2022 on what was a pretty remarkable day, a 1-goal win in extra time, and it was pouring down with rain. What are your memories from that game?
Oh, I think it has to be the rain. The rain. There was so much rain, and then the overtime, the crowd as well. It was amazing, and then everyone just coming on court celebrating. It was a really, really fun game.
Yep. What are you looking forward to ahead of this game against another top 5 team?
We love the competition against Yarra Glen. You know, the little rivalry we got going. It's a good competition. So looking forward to putting out there what we've been working on.
Yep. Taylah, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck for today's game and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Well, that pretty much wraps up all there is to talk about on the Pedders Suspension and Breaks Outer East Football Netball show this week. Remember, if there's anything you'd like to see in the show, make sure you leave a comment down below. Steph, thank you again for joining me in the studio.
No problems at all. Looking forward to this weekend.
Most certainly. For all the viewers out there, don't forget to get your game face on.